Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at functions in your 8th ActionScript 3 tutorial. So functions are kind of the essential thing to any program. So right now we have one function in our entire program that we've written, and it's called main, and it's where the program starts. So you hit this little plus button and it compiles your program, and then when it opens up your Flash application, it starts at main, okay? And it runs through it start to finish. And once it gets to the end, it's over, and nothing else happens. So what's cool is you can write your own functions, all right? So as always, we will delete everything that's in here, and we are going to create our first custom function. So there's a couple different types of functions. There's public, private, and protected. In this tutorial, we're only going to use public. So we will call this function add. Okay? So we need A, which is an int, and B, which is an int. And it returns an int. So let's talk about these first. Okay, so void means that it returns nothing. Int means that it returns an int. Okay, what does it mean by returning an int? So first, we're going to try tracing. Let's just create a new one, public function. We'll call it 1. Okay, int, and it returns the number 1. So when we do trace 1 and run it, okay, we need to return something here, so I'm just going to return 0. ActionScript is saying, hey, you wanted to return something, but you're not returning anything. Okay, so the 1 down here is because we called 1, and it returned a 1. So you could also do something like var n, which is a number, which is an int, is equal to 1, and then we trace n, and it'll also give us 1. So this is super, super simple. You create a function, and you call it, and it returns a value. So this is a really bad example, which is why we're going to use add, but I just wanted to explain that. So now we're going to add 1 and 2, and that's what these are. These are called arguments, and if you want to do arguments, you have to supply them when you call it. And basically these are kind of variables that we can use inside the function. However, once you get outside the function, they no longer exist according to the program. So what we can do here is we can do var sum, which is an int, which is equal to a plus b, and we can return the sum. Okay, so 1 plus 2 should equal 3. So if we run this, we get 3 back. Okay, this is like the most simple function you can write, pretty much, other than our 1, which was pointless. This is the most simple, useful function that you can create. So if we tried getting a out here, so if we tried tracing a, because we have it here, it won't let us because main has no idea what a is. A is a thing of add. It only exists inside add, which is called scope. There's a similar thing when you're doing like if statements. If you create a variable in here, variable a int, which is equal to 0, in some languages, what will happen is once you come out here and you try to trace a, it won't know what it is. But ActionScript does allow you to do that, but other languages won't let you do scope like that. If you create it inside the if statement, as soon as the if statement closes, it'll go away. But you guys are lucky ActionScript doesn't do that, which can actually cause problems further down the line. The reason they have scope is so it makes everything neat and tidy, and you don't have variables leaking around your program for you to accidentally use. But whatever, it's one of the downfalls of ActionScript, but use it if you want. So we've created a function. This is a really simple function. Let's experiment a little bit more, shall we? Okay, so now let's do public function display display sign, we'll call it. And we're going to create this to be void. So what we will do is we're going to call display sign, and we're going to do -5, display sign 0, display sign 15, and then display sign -100 or whatever. Okay, and what we're going to do here is, now that we're putting in something here, we're going to need to take in the number, so we'll call it num, and let's just call it a number, and then change 15 to 15.7, you know. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have 3 if statements, and this isn't going to return anything. You can see that we're not saving it. If we were to try doing something like n is equal to display sign, there might be a red squiggly here. It's probably just going to freak out at us, yeah. Saying, hey, you're not returning anything, you can't save it to a variable. So we're going to do if num is less than 0, trace negative, else if num is greater than 0, trace positive, position, yeah, you can tell I'm a game programmer, or else trace 0. So now if we run this, we should get -0, positive, negative. So that's the simple way of learning functions. That's pretty much it. In our next tutorial, when we take a look at classes, we'll be going into functions a bit more, specifically private and protected. We probably won't look at protected yet, but we'll take our first look at that, and then yeah, be all good. So I'll catch you at the next tutorial.